but I do know a lot of people, Project Zomboid is what they come here for. But I could see potentially moving to maybe 3 days Project Zomboid, 1 day City Skylines if people would really like it, and then 2 days of RimWorld, and then 1 day is still the other game day. That might be stretching it too thin on different games, but we can see. And hey, Mr. Lamprey. Yep, we got a little bit of a late start today, but that's fine. We're going to pick up where we left off. I believe, as I recall, we actually managed to get into Riverside and sleep there and actually kill a good couple hundred. Gotcha. Yeah, I'll just have to feel it out more because I do know a lot of people come to the channel specifically for Project Zomboid. So maybe I'll put like a poll on the Discord or on Twitter, or well, probably the Discord if we're being realistic. That's probably the best place to put it. Like put out a poll and say, hey, like, what do people feel of the breakdown? Because I really did enjoy doing City Skylines. I do think I am going to get that mod. I forget the name of it that allows you to quote unquote paint trees. Because my God, the amount of clicking to make the trees actually look nice is so much clicking. I mean, it's worth it, but it takes forever, and it's probably not going to be good in my hands long term. Alright, so where we left off in Project Zomboid, we're still doing our 16x pop, sometimes helicopter, no respawn run. And at this, well, actually I'm going to check my food situation. Food's good for now. Okay. And water? How's water? Water's fine. Cool. We were pushing into Riverside. Hey, Ascension Cookie. How's it going? But, so yeah, we're doing that. But yeah, no, I would definitely be down with doing some City Skylines. I got a lot of really good feedback that people were very, very happy with that, so. It is a question, because I am concerned about trying to have 3 games in rotation. It feels like that might be too much, but I also don't know. And I assume that's a good thing, because that's the question. Because falling asleep to a show or a game can be a good thing or a bad thing. Some people definitely that's something they want from the stream, is to like be able to chillax, just listen to the music and vibe and watch and enjoy. And there's other people like, oh yeah, it was a snoozer. But I haven't had that feedback, to be clear. I've heard nothing but good stuff. Gotcha. No, and like I said, I got nothing but good feedback. So there's a good chance. Like I would absolutely be down with putting City Skylines in the rotation. I just have to figure it out. Yeah, if I were to do that, it'd probably be 3 days Project Zomboid, 1 day City Skyline, 2 days RimWorld, and then just again keep an open day for those one-offs. Because I do like having the open day for the one-off games, just because it gives me opportunities to try stuff. And that may be like, for the time being, City Skyline takes the other game days for a while. I could see that as maybe a possibility. I'll feel things out, see what people think. Yeah. But nah, I had a good time. I will say the airport DLC, which was one new to me, I was pretty underwhelmed with. Gotcha. Yeah, and I'm a strong believer in the traffic mod. I forget what it's called, but it's like TPME or something like that. Like that is almost a necessity, because otherwise the people who drive in City Skylines would be absolutely awful. And then move it's just a convenience. Like that one's less necessary, but for making things aesthetically pleasing, you almost need move it. Because you get like weird janky, especially like your overpasses when you make them custom, you almost need move it to make them not look funky. But yeah, no, I had a good time. I am thinking that, like, when we pick up, because I do expect to just continue with that city we've been working on, I'm thinking I'm just going to rip up that airport we built, because Like, now that I understand the mod better, it's like, okay, we can do much better than what I made. And honestly, like I said, I was pretty underwhelmed with that mod. Or not mod, DLC. Because, like, most of the other DLC seem to have a huge impact and everything. It's like, okay, so you just made an airport that I could hook up, like, train tracks and such to, and that the levels are fairly irrelevant. Okay. Which is especially weird because I want to say there's already existing airports in the game that you could directly hook up a train to and that kind of stuff. Oh yeah, like, I love the aesthetics for the trees. But yeah, that was getting to be just way too much clicking. There's a reason why I wasn't just like finishing the whole thing where I'd do like a little neighborhood and then I'd stop and like, I'm going to murder my poor hand if I just sit there and try and put down all these trees. But the game looks so much nicer with trees. I'm sure eventually it'll be a performance problem, but that's a later problem for me. And if that does happen, then we just be deliberate about restructuring the city such that certain areas wouldn't have trees. Like, you know, very, very heavy downtown areas where, like, you're talking proper urban where you wouldn't have many trees. But I like our city where it's got like a mix of suburbia, it's got a mix of some like downtown-esque area. It's more of like a sprawling city than like just one. Hey, Integer Smirk, how's it going? Future you is a big meanie? Yeah, it happens. Like, no matter how you approach it, either future you or past you is a big jerk. Like, past you leaving all of your problems for future you is a big jerk, and then future you whining about all the problems to come is a big jerk. Some version of you is going to be a big jerk to the other one. It's just when you take on your responsibilities. Not even responsibilities. When you take on making sure you're doing stuff to protect yourself, that kind of thing. But yeah, no, if people want more City Skylines, I have no problem doing more City Skylines. Like I said, I am absolutely probably going to get rid of that airport we built, though, because that airport was trash. I was very unenthused about that DLC after I saw what it actually was. Like, it's like, oh, build your own airport. Cool. It's like, oh, okay. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not a terrible DLC, but compared to what you got in the other DLC, it was very underwhelming. Like, in my opinion, the Disaster DLC is extremely good. The, I forget what the DLC was. The one that introduced the college campuses is pretty good. Alright, we got our I've got a Steam pop-up here I need to disable, so I can't pause yet. Get out of my way, Steam pop-up. There we go. Alright, so I got some push-ups I gotta cash in. Hey, Appalachian Connection. It's going pretty good. How about yourself? So I'm gonna quickly knock out those push-ups and I'll be right back. But I already did all those things and learned those things. I'm not saying I know X and A. I could certainly learn more, but I already did that set of tutorials a long time ago. I vaguely recall that we had a helicopter pretty close to the end of stream yesterday. Like, I don't think it was like the last day we played or anything, because I definitely remember the last day we played, like, I was already getting very low energy. And so I was like, okay, Like, I will just play it safe because, you know, we're getting low energy, so we're just gonna deal with some like base kind of stuff, and then we'll call it night at that point, which is what we did. So it definitely wasn't the last day, but I'm also sitting there going, what was it, like the day before last day? I remember it was close to end of stream. Because I just gauged that because usually, and this stream is going to be a bit shorter just because we started late. You know, good couple hours. But usually I can have 1 to maybe 2 helicopters in one stream. So there's a good chance we'll have a helicopter this stream. I'd guess half-ish way through. And that's just not being based on evidence, that's just like a gut check kind of thing. So it could be way off. You have a huge beehive at a tree in your house, or at a tree at your house. Cool. Bees are friends. Love me some bees. Like, when my garden is in good shape, bees do lots of good things for my garden. That said, when my garden got absolutely thrashed by Bambi and I basically let the wildflowers take over, the bees seem to much more appreciate the wildflowers than they did, like, actually plants I can eat. Hey, how's it going? And it's going pretty good here. Just picking up, I saw a couple zombies back here. Might as well kill them now. Because we are properly pushing into Riverside now. We stayed the night in one of the houses a couple days ago before we had to deal with a helicopter that we weren't expecting. But, still more zombies back here. Because I figure I'm going to have to kill them all anyways. If I see them, let's just deal with them as long as I don't have to, like, go into bad places. Getting over a fun headache? That's not good. I mean, I don't know how it's a fun headache, but, you know, I'm assuming there's a sarcasm there. But, headaches are no fun. I'm currently dealing with the feeling that I definitely ate too much. But that's a self-inflicted problem, so, you know, that isn't one to feel particularly sympathetic about. Yeah, not enough water will definitely do it. I mean, caffeine withdrawal as well, but even without caffeine withdrawal, not getting enough water will give you headaches. Mr. Lamprey asks, how many Zeds would you say you could kill with a hunting knife if you fully committed to a day of killing? Myself and a few others are trying to determine if it's a huge gap between the two. If there's a huge gap between the two, what are the two? So how many Zeds do you think you can kill with a hunting knife if you're fully committed to a full day of killing? Oh, I see. The two being spears. I mean, I feel like the spears would definitely outperform the hunting knife. Yeah, no, it's no problem. I was missing details. But yeah, so the spears, I would fully admit, the spears, unless we're talking like maybe, let's pretend perfect skills for a moment. Level 10 short blade, level 10 fitness, level 10 strength. Whew. I certainly, if I'm able to just be in a city, walk out the door, zombies. Like, I don't have to go looking for them, I don't have to commute for them or anything else. I could certainly blow past 1,000. That I have no doubts about at all. But how far past 1,000 is the thing I'm trying to think, because you usually don't end up with that, like, perfect setup. Maybe 1.2k would be a fair guess, like, on average. Because you do get to the point when you're at like 9 and 10 with short blade, you 1 and 2 shot almost everything with your knives. You'll have like the very rare 3 shot, but it's almost all 1 and 2 shots. And a lot of them are 1 shots. Like you'll watch zombies just explode one after the other. So it does get very spear-like in the performance, versus I generally find once you get decently high in spears, it doesn't feel like you noticeably get more out of it because you're already one-shotting it. Like you can't more one-shot, if that makes sense. So I'd guess, and you'd probably know better than I would guess around like spear 7s you're pretty reliably 1 and 2 shotting stuff as well. At which point I'd still say the spears win, because they are a bit well, no, because of the stamina. I would say if you were ruling out the stamina, the spears would certainly win, just because you can hit just kind of a little bit faster because of the range advantage. Like, speed-wise are probably very similar at that level, where you can just dice zombies really fast. But the stamina breaks might make the difference. I think, though, they would be comparable, like, enough that just how well the day goes could decide which one performs better. Now, that said, you get to the point you're just deleting zombies much faster with spears, if you're focusing on spears. Because, like, that's around 7, I imagine spears just absolutely demolish. Versus the knives do well around 7, but they don't start, like, properly demolishing zombies till, like, 8, 9 there. Hey, the Greater Danish, how's it going? That said, I can't tell you the last time I got up to short blades that high. You know, honestly, Nice Gamer 88 would probably be the one to ask with that. Because I'm pretty sure Nice Gamer 88 and Royal with Cheese, I definitely believe I've seen them get really high short blades. Gamer because of his works challenge, and then you know, doing what I'm doing now, basically, where Royal with Cheese did the same. I think both of them got super high short blades, and they could probably more accurately give you that information. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, is like around 7 or 8, you're one-shotting enough that's like you hit 9, you're just like, okay, technically you're one-shotting more, but because you're already one-shotting so much, you wouldn't really notice too much, if that makes sense. Just again, like, if a zombie has 100 health and you hit for 150, it doesn't matter that you do 10% more damage, because you've still just blown up the zombie and it's gone. But yeah, I would definitely say, like, between short blades and spears, once you get up to like 9 and 10, they probably both just delete zombies like they're not even there. Right. And I think at the very highest level, like at the highest levels, spears and hunting knives have very similar attack speeds. Oh, my alert didn't play. Hold, please. You guys didn't hear the alert sound, right? That wasn't just me? Is my game sound not playing? My game sound's not playing, I don't think. No, it is. Hey, how's it going, Queco? Queco? I don't know how you pronounce it. So I hear the game, but that alert was silent. Actually, this is more than Insane Pop. Insane Pop is 6 times, and we are at 16 times. So, not quite 3 times the number of zombies as Insane Pop. Yeah, I'm hearing game sound. I didn't hear the alert. That was the only thing that threw me off, because I looked over my eye, I was like, oh, something popped in the activity feed. I'm like, wait. Like, I saw the alert, I just didn't hear it, so it made me panic that like I'd miss a raid or something, because, you know, I get like focus mode on the zombies, don't notice on the attack activity feed or hear the notification. I'm probably going to take 1 second after the zombie dies pause the game, pull up Streamlabs, and fire off an alert for myself. Because that worries me, because I want to make sure the alert's working. Hey! How's it going, Elgoso? Oh. I have to like re-log into that. That's annoying. That's fine. Don't tell me about your merch store. I technically already have a merch store. Go away. Got hydrate. I can do that in a moment. So I'm just testing a follower alert. That's not playing sound. Why is that not playing sound? It's got sound. Oh, I bet you know what happened. Give me a moment, because that's technically a browser thing. I'm betting I had the crap where it resets audio stuff. I'm betting it reset my browser sound. And then when it did, why don't I see the browser listed here? Don't mind me, I'm going to pull myself up on Twitch. There we go. And you're probably set the wrong thing. No, you are set the right thing. Okay. I'll have to troubleshoot that off stream. That's lame. Okay, anyway, yep. Yeah, no, it's with Streamlabs I can do tests. But yeah, it sounds like my alert sounds aren't working. That sucks. Now what I don't know is it's something on my end, because it did seem like a bunch of my audio stuff got switched around, which I don't like when that happens. And it happens like every time OBS has a significant update or anytime Windows has a significant update, either or will do it. And I hate it. Like, I've set my audio settings. Don't change them unless I tell you to, games. Well, like anything. Like, or at least give me the option to say, hey, no, really, I set this. Leave it alone. We have had 13 katanas. Would you say new katana? The one we just killed is a pipe. I didn't see a katana. I mean, I'm certainly happy about the pipe, though. It's around here. Metal bar. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, that's no problem. Like, we've had 13 katanas so far. Like, we've had our share of katanas. Cool. You know, spare with me for a moment because I'm going to put on my glasses. Oh, and I know how to hydrate. Give me that too. That said, if someone were to, like, approach me and I gave them a good whack with it, they would definitely regret it. That's still a lot of leverage, even if it would crumple on the hit. I do have a grinder, but because it is decorative quality, like, it's not going to be proper metal for all that. It would be like sharpening aluminum. You know, great, you've done it, but it's going to take one whack and the whole thing's just going to be no good anymore. And I will get those push-ups as soon as we kill these zombies. Yeah. So it's one of those things, like, I thought about, like, actually taking the time to sharpen. I'm like, Like, if I was going to take that kind of time, I should probably get something real. I mean, I guess I also have a machete, but that's just because I have a green belt behind the house, and you gotta have the tools to deal with, you know, what your situation is. Yeah, my wife actually has one or two that are pretty nice. Not katanas, but like a cutlass. Anyways, I'm gonna do some push-ups and I'll be right back. Gotcha. Yeah, Senju Cookie. Like way back, I was doing Tongsudo Mudokwan. I got to, was it like, I don't remember those structures, like red and a stripe, whatever. And I was ready to do my test for the black belt, but, you know, that would have been right around the time of the recession. And while my parents were fully supportive of me continuing and all that, like, I knew money was not good. And so, like, it was one of those things, like, that's a fairly expensive activity. So it was one of those things that's like, nah, it's fine. Besides, would have nailed that test. But still, it was more like, I don't need this. I don't need to stretch our budget any thinner than it already is. And that one down there had a hunting knife. Like, I'm not urgently needing one. We've got like 30 of them back home. Okay, and now to test, because we had some funky animation stuff happening with this move. Alright, we pushed her. That's not what I wanted. You. Where instead of just getting the execution animation off where they do the whole thing, we kept pushing them away, like that panic push your character will do when they're about to get bitten, but you know, they RNG out of it. And we like reliably did it like 4 times, despite not being exhausted or tired or cold or anything else that would justify a slow animation. And so that made me very uncomfortable having that happen. Because like I speak up and down about how safe the hunting knife is when it comes to that kind of thing. And just having weird animation glitches with it worried me. Maybe it's just getting too close. Like maybe it's just like running up on top of the zombie to do it. We had aggro another one, so I'm just stabbing this one being done with it. And then you're oh, I thought you were aggroed. There's a lot of random zombies in these trees. Yeah, in Integer, if like doing the full 100's a bit much, you could also just do like do 5 per cash-in like I was doing to start with. Do that for like a week or 2, and then spin around and go for more. Because that's the thing, you don't want to just try and jump in all at once. You can hurt yourself. Like, pace yourself. That's the thing with exercise. Pace yourself at a pace you can keep doing, and it won't be a problem. And then you slowly increase what that pace is until it's like actually ambitious. It's like we hear a person who hasn't like run at all, and then they go and they run a marathon, and then they basically can barely walk for days afterwards. If they even manage to pull it off, which most won't. Yeah, no, if you're sore more than 2 days, you didn't do yourself good. Like that was when I was doing like lots of weight training and all that. Well, that's kind of like my rule of thumb. It's like, it's okay if I'm sore the next day. If I'm sore 2 days later, then whatever I did was too much and I need to back off. You know, and then you go about like taking it back to whatever the step was you were at, do that a little longer, then bump it up. You know, get the idea. Baby steps. All right, and then I don't know how to say your name. Is it Quico or Queco? Or am I just like totally off base? It's fine anyway. Just if you can correct me, I will make sure to do better in the future. But I know, I just try and be respectful and, you know, get people's names right. Mine is maybe it's pronounced Bob. Hey, you know what? I've heard worse. Okay, it's like Kui, like the computer name. Yeah. So like Quiko. Alright. Yeah, so Quiko said, yeah, I try to do about 1/3 cardio, 1/3 muscle calisthenics, and 1/3 yoga. I mean, sounds good to me. It's better than I'm doing, but still. Okay, Quiko. Cool. Yeah, it is from the Mandalorian. Oh yeah. Yeah, and I try to pronounce people's names. Like most of the time I actually do pretty well about getting people's names right. Sometimes I don't. Like it's especially tricky when you have there's like some names that like you'll have the same spelling in the name in like French and German or whatever. And then it's like, okay, but how you pronounce those are very different. So you kind of just have to like guess which one, which usually, hey, we'll say hi to the cat. You did send me an adorable cat pic. I do appreciate it. But yeah, no, I'm doing good. Was family time kind of stuff. Alright, there's a zombie in there. Gonna bust that window out. I don't care. It's a barn. It's worthless to me. I believe what's happened is we've had a proper migration has occurred since we cleared up to Riverside. So this is just all the zombies that have kind of moved in the area since then, which is fine. Like I said, we did manage to get up here before where we, I think we cleared, yeah, we cleared up the gas station enough that I believe, yeah, we put down the generator and everything at the gas station. So we made really good progress in Riverside. Like we're nowhere near clearing it, like not even by a long shot. But we got our foothold up here previously. It's just we've had a helicopter, a meta event, and a migration or two since then, so we just got some cleanup. And this also happens normally when all that stuff. You clear your way through, the next time you roll through, you got a couple stragglers here and there you gotta deal with. You rinse and repeat till they stop showing up, and eventually they go away. And we're getting real close to hitting 27,000 kills. And it's been going swimmingly. Though the last time we played, which would be Wednesday, we did have a super close call that I was using a giant box truck, and there was a zombie hidden behind the model of the box where I had no idea they're there until me and said zombie met. The good news is I did invest in tailoring, so they tore my arm. They tore the sleeve of my shirt, but did not injure me. But it was definitely a sobering moment, which basically we're like, alright, this box truck, not driving the box truck. I'll do without the inventory space. I'm spooked. I know you're saying GG like J-E, J-E, and in my mind I'm just hearing the dialogue from There Is No Game, where he's going GG, which is like one of the other characters in the game. Fun game if you're looking for something that's good for a couple hours, but just kind of like a fun little story game. So as ones you play through once, you're done, you had a good time, that's the end of it. And I did mention this at the end of the yesterday's stream for those who are into City Skylines but don't have it or don't have all the DLC. I actually did put, because I was going to stream it, I did put City Skylines on my Nexus store, which is where you can buy games through like a link below that I get a cut of the sale. It depends, like every game's different, so I couldn't tell you what it is. But you can get stuff there if you so wish. If it's cheaper on Steam, just buy it on Steam. But it does give you a key to Steam. Yep, we have been working at it little by little. Sure, as soon as I kill these zombies, well, bring up the skills tab to catch people up. And I just moved to the right side of the screen because I know there's text here. So yeah, so we are at 6 fitness, 7 strength, barely like anything in there. We're about just a bit over halfway towards leveling up our next point in nimble, so that's good. Most of our combat skills are up to 6, though I've got a couple right about to hit 7, and our maintenance is at 7, so that's fantastic. Carpentry is fully maxed out. Cooking is at 8. Farming is at 6, as is tailoring. Neither of those have gained any real experience anytime soon. Yeah, and I can't tell you whether the Nexus store is cheaper or Steam is cheaper because Steam has regional pricing. I have no idea about the Nexus store. So yeah. Oh yeah, it is super rare that I sprint around. Sprinting uses lots and lots of stamina. And with how many zombies we have, I want to save every last little bit of stamina for killing zombie. But yeah, aiming is fine. We've only gone like 1 or 2 rampages with like, well, it's more than that. We haven't gone on too many rampages with guns. That hasn't been many of our kills. Like maybe 5%, if that. And then our survival skill are all crap because we barely worked on them, so you know that is what it is. We'll end up getting a lot of mileage out of our fishing once spring rolls around. Time to move the vehicle up, all that. Yeah, and I try to avoid those, especially long runs. And the reason why I try to avoid those is what ends up happening is you go for that run, and then you actually run into a horde, and you push yourself into exertion. It's a whole thing. And I get it, like, I get people don't want to wait for it. It's fine. But I'm of the mindset of take your time. There's no rush. Play it safe. Oh yeah, a single point can make a huge difference. Yeah, if I get my stamina high enough, I can sprint for a very long time. It's always a pretty considerable drain in my experience, though. Like, you'll notice it more with minimal display bars. Like, it can take a long time for the stamina use to catch up to you, but it does drain. That said, I just use hunting knives as my... I don't need stamina weapons most of the time. But yeah, I know a lot of people like sprint around a lot. I'm generally of the mindset of, you know, don't sprint too much. Yep. Yeah, the mod on the left is telling me my my stats. Like so far as how hungry I am, how sleepy I am, how tired I am, how exhausted I am, all that kind of stuff. And I use that partly because it's one, convenient, and two, like especially like the food stuff. People will ask questions about like, oh, here's how you lose weight. That's like, well, technically, well, actually, but it's it kind of gives you like the ability to demonstrate stuff. Like, so if we look at our stamina here, which is this white bar, like I'm at fitness 7. And you just watch as it drops. It's not super fast now at fitness 7, but it is just... So it does drain. And even at fitness 10, it will still drain. It's just slower. But fighting uses a lot of stamina. So it's kind of the... I will save as much as I can for this. Not that I never run. Like, we do have a point in sprinting from doing stuff. But I'm generally... My mindset is I run with purpose. Like... The most of the time I run, it's when I have 2 hordes closing in on me. Like, so like helicopter event, too many zombies to fight, that kind of situation. I will run to just barely dodge the intercept. So like, say we have a horde here and a horde here, and they're closing in. I'll run like the 2 or 3 steps here to get past the intercept, and then I'll go back to walking. So like, it's rare you see me sprint more than 5-10 steps in a row. It does happen. And then sometimes when I'm back at base and there's like literally no zombies for miles, and like even if I got ambushed, like I would be totally fine. Like sometimes then I will sprint to just work on the sprinting skill, because the more you sprint, the less stamina it does use. I also know I don't need to really worry about all these zombies, but they're gonna fight us anyways. The goal is kill them all. They're here. They're not dead. I'm progressing our goal. One stab at a time. One bop in the head at a time. Alright, so a busted metal bar on me. Get this out of my pocket. Boop. Yeah, no, I'm not stabbing. I'm just booping them with the pointy end. Really hard. At this population, our best guess is there's somewhere in the area of 900,000 zombies on the map. Unfortunately, those numbers are from out-of-date math. Someone had taken the time to do the math pre-multiplayer update on how many zombies are on the map. But that's pre-Louisville, so we're guessing, and this is when I say we, I'm guessing there's somewhere in the ballpark of 1.2 million. I have no real tangible evidence to back that up, though. So that is a gut check kind of guess. I could be off by hundreds of thousands, but you know, without like, I want someone to do the numbers so that way I would know. But you know, yeah, I mean we're practically there. Like 27,000, we're basically there. 1.2 million, come on. Like, yeah, and that's the way the animation is supposed to go. Like, we had some weirdness with that animation last time. I've killed thousands of zombies that way. Yeah, Laros. That is what I said. It's like, you know, well, if we keep living, sooner or later, we will know how many zombies are on the map. Like, when we get to the point that we struggle to find zombies, at that point we'll know, okay, we're pretty close on whatever this number is, you know, padded out maybe 10% for just the maximum possible zombies we've overlooked. And that's how many's on the map. Unless we go to like some kind of debug mode and track down every remaining zombie, which, no. Alright, and that's a decent paragraph, so let's go. I can't kill anyone says, since my playthrough is so nomadic, I don't use cars. I'm almost always on the first level of over-encumbrance. Minimal display bars help me figure something out about endurance regen. Interestingly, the first level of encumbrance doesn't stop endurance regen while walking. I forget the exact percentage though, but because of that, if I get into a big fight, I can be worth stuffing myself to lower my encumbrance. Yeah. Oh, geez, Louise, how do you not know about the channel before? I don't know. I've actually had a number of people who, like, it's been humbling for me that I will raid someone's channel who I've never met before. I'm totally unaware of it. I'm like, hey, here's this person. They've got 10 viewers. We've got 100. Let us make this person's day. And I'll raid them, and they'll be like, it's the guy. Susan, it's the guy, the one I was telling you about. And I'm like, oh, apparently I'm the guy that people are telling people about? Is that what's this happening? Like, you kind of want to ask questions, but you also don't want to be rude and make it about you, because, you know, don't self-promote. But yeah, it's been fun having that where it's like, oh yeah, you're the one who kills the ridiculous numbers of zombies. I'm like, apparently I have a reputation. All right, well, Burning cashed in push-ups, so I'm going to get those push-ups, and I'll be right back. Cool. But yeah, so that's been fun. Like, and also there's been people, and I've said this on stream. There's people I've watched their streams for ages. We're talking like 9, 10 years. And then, like, you know, I'll drop them a raid because I'll see them on and be like, oh, it's, you know, this person I've watched forever. And I consider them at a much higher tier of streamer than me so far as, like, not saying that, like, they're better than me, but, like, they've got a much larger audience. Like, they've succeeded more. I mean, because they've been doing it for 10 years, if nothing else. And then I turn around, like, they raid me at some point. I'm like, what? What? What's even happening right now? Like, we've had a few raids from Ziggy, and every time it happens, I'm, like, blown away. Okay, and I can't kill anyone, says... Also, I like how you've killed 27,000, and aside from the obvious Louisville, it's basically 27 times the amount of a normal town in this game. Yes, and to clarify, I should do this actually, because I didn't go through like what we've done so far or anything on the grand scale for people who are tuning in who have missed a couple days, that kind of thing. So when we started this character, we started in Ekron. That's like, I have Pill's random spawn mod, so I didn't get to choose. And that's what that exclamation mark is. We started in this pharmacy. At these populations, I stepped out the door. We aggroed literal 1,000 zombies by the time we're done. And so we unceremoniously walked out of town and eventually moved in down here. And when I say moved in, I just looted these houses and we based out of this ice cream parlor. Beat our head against the wall here. Ran out of food. Had to go down here, get more food. Beat our head against the wall. And then sometime around 8,000 to 9,000 kills, managed to finally clear, quote-unquote, Ekron. So, like, the smallest city that you can actually call a city on the entire map, 9,000 kills just to get get it sorted. And then by the time we got up here to clearing out the country club, I want to say we're probably at 18,000, give or take. I don't know. I would guess somewhere in that ballpark. Maybe pushing 20. And then by the time we finished here, we're like 24,000. And then like the other 3,000-4,000 has been just pushing this way. So 27,000 has been walking in this one tiny little town up the road, clearing out the country club, clearing out like the little warehouse block, so like basically a trailer park in a warehouse, and walking just into like the first block of Riverside. Not like, you can see I didn't go into the neighborhood. I didn't get very far. I basically walked around the corner, got to the gas station, and we're at 27,000 zombies. And we've also survived 7 months. So that's just giving you an idea of the amount of zombies we're talking about. And we are getting drowsy, so it's time to go. But we did just have a helicopter, so that's it. How many katanas have we found so far? The answer is 13 katanas so far. 1-3. Our katana bed is getting a bit crowded. It looks like there's a proper zombie migration happening up here. Well, that's no good. I don't like damaging my cars and trees. Do you think you could run out of food before killing all of the zombies if you consider going on a reasonable speed of killing? Reasonable? No, I don't think that would be a problem. And the reasons I don't think it would be a problem is because between farming, foraging, fishing, and that kind of stuff, like, I can stop anywhere and just make food exist. But, the other thing is, even as long as it takes me to kill stuff in this game, like, here, I can show you the map again. Like, if you look at this, I have marked all the houses I've looted in this neighborhood. So, like, I marked the house I looted. So I looted these houses. I looted this one block down here for food. I looted these 3 houses and, like, a couple up here in the north. I never looted a single house here. So all these houses still have canned goods, still have baxed meals, still have all that kind of stuff. Thank you so much for the sub, Zach President. I really do appreciate that. Now you can enjoy the channel without ads, as well as you have access to emotes. And I'm really annoyed that the Twitch sounds aren't, or the what are the words I'm looking for? The sub alerts aren't playing sound. That's annoying. Like, they're definitely showing on the screen, but they're not playing sound, and that annoys me. Like, I wanted to. Oh, well, I didn't see that zombie because I was looking away. That's one more kill we'll never get counted for. Puts up some like 15. Zach President says, just got back from dinner. Had several mojitos, some slamming sushi, good vibes, and love all of you. Awesome. Good to hear it. Refresh your cache in the OBS source. While I know what refreshing your cache is, I'm not sure how I do that in OBS. That is new to me. I'm gonna take 2 seconds and look. Let's see. Looking at the source. Properties, maybe? Yeah, refresh cache of current page. Sure, I hit the button. So, we'll see if that did anything whenever the next alert pops up. Which, for the record, I am only 14 followers away from breaking the 1,000 follower milestone. I actually had debated putting up a thing for that. I gotta catch up on chat because I'm falling behind. Okay. Quico says, damn, you're inspiring, bro. Gotta tell you, push-ups, 16x pop, 27,000 kills, very cool. Okay, thank you so much for the gifty sub. Zach President dropping 5 gift subs. Those gift subs went to Zidian, Susanna Likes Cake, Last Gunslinger, El Goso, and Mr. Lamprey UK. So, whether you liked them or not, all of you just got yourselves some free emotes, and you get to do without ads. So thank you so much for Zach President for dropping that, and apparently refreshing the source didn't work. It is something I'll just troubleshoot off stream. While it will annoy me that it doesn't work, you know, that's a me problem, unfortunately. But yeah, thank you so much for your generosity. I really do appreciate it. Okay. And I'm going to take 2 seconds while this is happening to try one more thing. And I went to start the wrong thing. And that is to just re-add the alert entirely. So alert box. Copy the URL information. Okay. I don't think that'll change anything. I think I've got like an audio setting, something wrong. Actually, wait, I can test this right now. Nope, still no sound. I hate when my audio stuff changes. It's super upsetting and annoying. This shouldn't matter, but I'm going to change it too. Hey, there we go. That's weird. It was... The audio settings for OBS were like... Not the, in OBS, like my sources and all that. That wasn't wrong. But like my Windows setting for what audio device OBS should be using for itself was wrong. So that's a little annoying. But we got it sorted out, so we're good. But yes, thank you again for all those gifty subs. I really do appreciate it. Like, that's the kind of stuff that ends up supporting the channel. Well, I should take that back. That is a very generous way of supporting the channel. Anyone who you know, is here, lurking, chatting, following, like, I do the whole spiel. You know, the thank you for tuning in, lurking, chatting, following, subscribing, doing the bits, the donuts, the hosts, the raids, and all that good stuff. It all helps, and I really do appreciate it. I do hope you're enjoying the stream. I say that with intent. It does get repetitive, and I understand that, but I do mean it.